Good day everyone. So today we will going to discuss about general annuity involves cash flow and fair market value. Before we proceed into our topic, we would recap first. So as you can see, we have some terms here and its definition. And this is actually from previous reporters since their topic is somehow connected to the topic that we will discuss today. So, the capital R is the regular payment and I is the equivalent interest rate per payment interval converted from the interest rate per period. Small r is the normal rate, n is the number of payments, m sub 1 is the payment interval, m sub 2 is the length of compounding period, and lastly, the t is the term for time. Now, we will go into the definition of terms. Cash flow is the term that refers to payments received of a cash inflows or payments or deposits of cash outflows. Cash inflows can be represented by positive numbers, while cash outflows can be represented by negative numbers. Lastly, the fair market value or economic value of a cash flow payment stream on a particular date refers to a single amount that is equivalent to the value of the payment stream at that date. So this particular date is called the focal date. And here is the illustration of a cash flow. For further explanation for this, here is Quincy May Barredo.
Example number 1. Mr. Ribaya received 2 offers on a lot that he wants to sell. Mr. Ocampo has offered 50,000 pesos and a 1 million peso lump sum payment 5 years from now. Mr. Cruz has offered 50,000 pesos plus 40,000 pesos every quarter for 5 years. Compare the fair market value of the 2 offers if money can earn 5% compounded annually, and which offers has a higher market value. So now we have here 2 cash flows of the 2 offers. The upper one is Mr. Ocampo's offer, while the lower one is Mr. Cruz's offer. So let's go to Mr. Ocampo's offer first. Here we can see at the upper left corner we have 50,000 pesos, which stands for the down payment that Mr. Ocampos has to pay. Next, we have 1 million pesos at the upper right corner, since Mr. Ocampo suggested that he will pay a single payment of 1 million peso at year 5. Now let's go to Mr. Cruz's offer. Same goes as Mr. Ocampo. He will pay 50,000 pesos as his down payment, but he has a regular payment of 40,000 pesos every quarter for 5 years. So now, let's solve which offer has a higher market value between Mr. Cruz and Mr. Ocampo. So now, let's solve Mr. Ocampo's offer first. Here we have the given down payment, which is 50,000 pesos, future value, which is 1 million pesos, R is equals to 0.05, that is 5% converted into decimal. T is equals to 5, M is equals to 1, N is equals to 5, in which we use the formula T times M, so N is equals to 5. So here we have I. So in finding I, we have the formula R over M, so that is 0.05 over 1, which is equivalent to 0.05. Now let's find the present value. So we can use the formula in finding the present value of compounded more than once a year. That is P, which is present value, is equals to the future value over 1 plus I raised to N. Next, we'll substitute the values in our formula. So 1 million over 1 plus 0.05 raised to 5 is equivalent to 783,526.17 pesos. Now that we have our present value, it's time to solve for our fair market value. So our formula for the fair market value is equals to down payment plus present value. So 50,000 plus 783,526.17 is equivalent to 833,526.17 pesos. And that is our fair market value for Mr. Ocampo's offer. So now let's proceed to Mr. Cruz's offer. So for our given, he has a down payment of 50,000 pesos. So for his offer, he has a regular payment every quarter. So he will pay 40,000 pesos. T is 5. And then here we have M sub 1 equals to 4 because it is 4 every quarter, and this is an example of general ordinary annuity. And M sub 2 is 1 because it is compounded annually. Here we have R is 0.05 because 5% to decimal is 0.05, and R N is 20. And now we have to solve the equivalent rate of the compounded quarterly of 5%. Compounded annually, so we need to find the equivalent rate. So using this formula, now we'll substitute the values. And that is 1 plus 0.05 over 1 raised to 1/4 minus 1. So I is equals to 0.012272223, and this is its equivalent rate. So now let's proceed in finding the present value. So using the formula P is equals to the regular payment times 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative n over I. Next is we'll substitute the values in our formula, that is 40,000 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.012272223 raised to negative 20 over 0.012272223. So using a calculator, that is 705,572.68 pesos. So now, let's go to solving the fair market value, that is down payment plus present value, that is 50,000 plus 705,572.68. So that is 755,572.68 pesos. And that is the fair market value for Mr. Cruz's offer. So now let us summarize the two offers between Mr. Ocampo and Mr. Cruz. Here we can see that Mr. Ocampo's offer has a fair market value of 833,526.17 pesos, while the fair market value for Mr. Cruz's offer is at 755,572.68 pesos. So if you were Mr. Rabia, which offer will you take? So here we obviously see that Mr. Ocampo's offer has a higher market value. The difference between the market values of the two offers at the start of the term is 77,953.49.
Here, so the question is, or the problem is, which offer has a better market value? Company A offers 150 pesos at the end of 3 years plus 300,000 pesos at the end of 5 years by paying every 6 months. So ang aton company A here is may duha sa ka-time, which is 3 years and 5 years. So duha na daar lang aton niya i-solve nga present value. So ang company B offers 25,000 pesos at the end of each quarter for the next 5 years. Assume the money is worth 8% compounded annually. So, i-compare tani ko no guys ang fair market value sa company A kag company B. So, let's solve first ang sa company A. So, ang una tang obron is pangitaon taanay ang ilatanan nga given. So, for the future value, Sang company A, may hara kita nga 150,000 at the end of 3 years. Tas ang isa naman is 300,000 pesos at the end of 5 years. So ang ato naman nga rate is, since ang nakabutang sa problem is 8%, so kung i-turn ta na sa decimal, magiging 0.08. So ang aton time is 2, which is 5 years and 3 years. Then ang aton nga M is equals to 2. Tas ang aton naman N nga isa is 10, since ang time tagin times ta sa M. So 5 times 2 equals 10. Then we have our another N, which is 6. Halin man isa sa aton nga 3 times 2. So, magiging 6 ang isa ta ka N. So, next, isolve ta ang aton nga equivalent rate, which is, ang formula is R over M. So, 0.08 over 2. So, ang aton equal sa aton nga equivalent rate, which is ang I, is equals to 0.04. So, since nakuha ta natin ang mga given sa company A, isolve ta na sa using the formula of present value. Unahon ta danay kwa ang present value of 150 pesos of 3 years from now. So, ang formula nga gamiton ta di is P1 equals F quantity 1 plus I quantity raised to negative n. Ang formula na nigali is ginreport man ni sa singpass nga mga reporters. So, dito ni sa ulohon kay magamit agid ni sa pagkuha sang fair market value. So, ang obron ta lang din nga next is substitution. Ipang-substitute ta ang mga given ta nga nakuha kagina. So, F is equals to 150,000. So, quantity 1 plus 0.04 quantity raised to negative 6. So, using our calculator, isolve na lang sa diritso para dasig. So, ang final tang sabat is 118,547.18. So, amo ni sa ang present value sang sang sa 3 years nga time. Next na naman nga isolve is ang sa 5 years naman. So, again, isubstitute na lang ang mga formula or ang given ta kagaina. So, 300,000, quantity 1 plus 0.04, quantity raised to negative 10. So, ang using again, our calculator, i-solve to lang na sa pardasig. So, 220,669.25 ang sabat. Para mo kaata ang fair market value sa company A, gamiton ta lang ang formula nga P1 plus P2. So, i-add ta na sa ang duwa ta kagina nga na-solve. So, our final answer sa fair market value sa company A is 321,216.43 pesos. So, amo na ni sa ang fair market value sang aton nga company A. Next nga i-solve is ang sa company B naman. So, just like kagina nga ginobra ta, kuhaon ta lang tanan ang mga given sa aton nga problem. So, sa company B, ang aton nga R is equals to 25,000. Ang aton nga M sub 1 is equals to 4. Since quarterly nakabutang da sa aton nga problem, then ang aton M sub 2 naman is 2 since nakabutang da compounded semi-annually. So, aton time again is 5 years. Ang aton nga R raised to M sub 2 is equals to 0.08. Then, ang aton N, which is 20. So, bahan ko nagalibog inulo ko nga 20. So, ang enta is equals to M sub 1 times T. So, amo na sa nga nag-20 sa kay 4 times 5. Then, ang para kay since wala pa I, isolve ta ni sa using amo ni nga formula. I equals quantity 1 plus R raised to M sub 2 over M sub 2 quantity raised to M sub 2 over M sub 1 minus 1. Amo ni sa ang formula sang equivalent rate kung paano magwa. Ang formula nga ni ginhambal naman ni sa past reporters. So again, substitution ang ginobra ta de. Pang substitute ta ang mga given ta nga nakuha sa formula sang equivalent rate. So ang final answer sa atong equivalent rate is 0.01980,390. Nakuha ta ni sa gali since nagamit ta calculator. Again, so find the present value again sa company B. Ang formula nga ini is P is equals to R 1 minus quantity 1 plus I quantity raised to negative n over I. Ang formula nga ni is gin report naman sing past reporters ta before. So again, substitution ang gamiton ta. So ang present value sa company B nga final answer is 409,560.48 pesos. So nakita nyo man guys ang difference Kay kagaina ang fair market value sang company A is 321,216.43. So ang aton nga company B is dako saya kisa sa company B. Therefore, company B is preferable since its market value is larger. Since nakita nyo man ang kadako sa ila difference, right? So, amo na siya ang amon nga report about sa fair market value.